The kits that you guys got, I put them on for a really great deal for the chamber. It was $20 for this kit, and you have enough things in here to make 2 cupcake jars. So I'm just gonna kind of take everything out of my box so I can get it out of the way. And like I said, this is not gonna take long. You can go back and watch it. It's super easy to do. Obviously, the kit makes it even more easier having all this stuff in here. All right, so I did kind of mention in the directions, obviously, especially if you're gifting this, to make sure that your hands are all washed up before you touch your cupcake jars, but I also did put some food gloves in the kits too for you guys. All right, so I'm just gonna do one, and then that way you guys can kind of see how it works. You have in your kits, you have both our chocolate buttercream frosting and our vanilla. So I did say on the directions that you will need some scissors. So all you're going to do is just cut a tip of that off, and that way you don't need a tip, an actual piping bag tip. You can just squeeze it right out of the bag. So since I cut vanilla, I'm gonna go ahead and do vanilla. So you will open your jars. First step you do, all you do is you kind of just like squeeze the top of this pastry bag up here. And if you squeeze the top, you will get your frosting to come out, and what I do is just kind of like a nice little swirl. So I'm hoping you guys can kind of see that. I kind of do about, I wouldn't say an inch, maybe half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of frosting. And then your sprinkles, I like to just cut this little pack, just the corner, so that way you guys can literally just sprinkle it out by tapping. If it's easier to put it in a little bowl and use your fingers to sprinkle, that's fine too. But all you'll do now is just kind of take your sprinkles and do a nice layer of the pretty rainbow sprinkles, just like that. So you want to kind of focus where you can see them through. So I like to do them around the edge, because once you stack your cake, you're going to be able to see the pretty rainbow sprinkles in there. So you have in your containers a chocolate jumbo cupcake, y'all. This is jumbo. These are 4-ounce cupcakes. So this is really like literally 2 cupcakes of the standard size that you would usually get. So these jars are filled with sweet. All right, so I'm just gonna put my glove on. I put in the instructions, just rip apart in pieces. You don't have to go crazy, but you are going to want to kind of have them in some chunks. If it's easier for you to cut them into like 4 pieces, that's fine too. This is the part that gets a little messy though. So because our cupcakes are so moist in there, what you want to do is take a piece like this. Be very careful, because I always tell my mom, who works with me, and I have some other family members there, presentation is key for us at Cookie Crumbs. I hate like when I have like just cupcakes all over the place and smeared in there. So you really want to take little pieces and kind of use about half of that cupcake and shove it down in there without like smearing the edges, if that makes sense. So this is probably kind of the hardest part for people, because you have to kind of get used to just not making a mess. But you can see how we're layering. So we have our frosting, our sprinkles, and our cupcake. All right, I'm just gonna pull my glove off just a tad here. Oh, I have another one. See, I'm like I try not to get things messy at all. So then your next part you're going to do, take your frosting and you're going to make another layer. So you'll just swirl another layer, swirl it right in the top. Take your sprinkles again and go ahead and remember to keep them towards the edges, because you want them to kind of show. So you see how we're kind of getting our layers here. Some sides come out a little bit nicer. And then the last part here, you'll go ahead and take your other part of your cupcake. My daughter just walked in, so hopefully she'll be nice and quiet for us. All right, so take little pieces of your cupcake, and now we're gonna shove it right down inside the jar here. I don't know how she snuck in here. Okay, so then you have more cupcake. And then the very last, and I just realized I gave you all a lot of frosting, so feel free to just like shoot it into whatever you have sitting at home. Okay, so then you'll do one final layer of frosting, one final layer of sprinkles, and that's how we top off one of our cupcake jars. Frosting, sprinkles, cupcake, frosting, sprinkles, cupcake, and you top it off with more frosting and sprinkles on the top. So now, obviously, if you all are going to enjoy this yourself, you can open up your little wooden spoons and indulge, or you can twist on your cap. And then I included in your kit, there's some little twine. So you can actually just tie a little ribbon onto the front. This is how we kind of present our cupcake jars when you buy them from Cookie Crumbs. It just kind of gives it just a nice little detail. Just cut a little piece of your twine there, and you will tie a little bow around the top of the jar. All right, so you have your little bow and these adorable, cute little wooden spoons. And so all you will do is slide that spoon right into your twine, and then you guys have the perfect little gift that you can give to somebody right in here. So super easy to do. You might have a little bit of extra cupcake sitting behind. Just chomp it down, but you can do your chocolate, you can do vanilla, you can mix chocolate with vanilla, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, if there's a theme, you can do different colored sprinkles, but this is a super fun little gift idea. I mean, the whole kit would be a good gift, or if you just wanted to make some of the cupcake jars and gift them like that. Or, like I said, eat them all up. That's it, Stacey, I'm done.